They say 80% of success in life is showing up. Well, good news. Because when it comes to your habits, 100% of success is showing up. So in this video, I want to review one of the key rules for what I call habit engineering, which is the importance of consistency, just showing up. So that should be the mindset. Focus on repetition. And the reason for that is because habits form through iteration and repetition. So kind of like a loop. Right? If you think about one completion of a habit as like a cycle, right? Because you're in the situation, you respond with your behavior, and then you get the reward after, right? That's the cycle. Then that reward informs your kind of motivation and the trigger for that habit the next time around. Okay, so think of an example. Maybe it's 5 o'clock, right? Then you go to the gym, that's your routine. And then after you have your protein shake and you get that nice rush of kind of like post-workout high. And then so next time it's 5 o'clock, you kind of remember that high and that protein shake, that reward. You do the same habit, right? Every time you do that, you're reinforcing the cycle. And it also kind of works for the bad habits too, as we've talked about before. Maybe something like checking your phone and getting distracted, right? You see the little red dot. Ooh, I want to check that out, right? You get it, you get distracted, you get to see the fun meme your friend sent you, whatever, right? And then next time you see it, you've associated that, okay? So in either case, it's like a feedback loop. And the more you cycle through it, the deeper ingrained it becomes, like the stronger that feedback loop gets. So when we want to build better habits, it's really important to try to cycle through that feedback as often as we can. Okay, and that's where consistency and repetition come in. Just showing up is the single most important thing, right? Because you want to keep that chain going of cycling through that habit. And then the second part of this rule is recovering quickly. And this is the idea of not missing twice. Okay, so if you have a habit, let's say it's a daily thing you want to do, like a daily writing habit, journaling. You miss it once, right? You kind of interrupt that process of feedback. It's not a huge deal, right? We all make mistakes. But when you do it a second time, you're kind of setting up a new habit or a new pattern. And I think about this in my own life with like dieting, for instance. So when I was younger, I struggled with childhood obesity. And it was always the same story. I would be like, okay, on a diet, then I'd have one mess up. Say I have like a big dessert or something. So what did I do in all my wisdom? I would say, well, I just messed this up. I guess tomorrow I'm going to do whatever I want. I'd be like, oh, I'll start next week. Or I'll start next month. So it was never that first mistake, but it was always that second one, that kind of that domino that started a different spiral. So if you can cut it at that one mistake, it's like damage control. And it helps with habits if you think about it like money. Because with money, we don't usually do this. Let's say you not accidentally, but you blow $200 on something just really stupid. As soon as you get it, you're like, what the hell did I just do? You're not going to say, well, I just spent $200. I might as well go spend $500. Probably you're not going to do that. But that's often what we do with our habits. I didn't work out today. Screw it. I'm just going to start next week. Well, I just had this bag of chips. Now I'm just going to eat a tub of ice cream. Hey, it's okay. But we want to avoid that sort of thinking. So this is kind of a two-parter, but they go together. The importance of consistency, just showing up. Right? Every time you show up, even if it's just a scaled down version of whatever behavior you're trying to change, that's one iteration, one repetition. Right? Building that groove a little deeper, and that compounds and compounds a day after day. At the end of the year, you're looking at 300 repetitions, right? That's where it comes in, what we've talked about before, of starting to rewire your brain using neuroplasticity. That's how habits operate. And the second part of that is mistakes are okay, but don't let them spiral. Don't let them derail you or start a new habit. Okay, so focus on showing up, showing up, showing up, consistency and repetition. Just trust the process.